Hi, this is Tamika. How good of a storyteller are you, the listener? Do you have command of your story? Your story could be, that 8 by 11 piece of paper that someone sees when you're sending them your resume. Are you able to craft your story in a way that is succinct, concise, and it actually is going to get people to want to read the story? And there is something called ATS, which is it's an AI generated software that reads certain kind of keywords to see whether or not you're going to get on to the next step. We even have to do that kind of thing in the stories that we tell on camera, because the algorithm is going to show whether or not our story is going to be agreeable for the people that we want to talk to.
It's all about the algorithm.
So it's all about the algorithm. So, how well can you craft your story? Whatever your story might be. You might tell funny stories. You might tell very poignant stories that tug on the heartstring. In order to be a master storyteller, you have to draw in your audience. You have to be able to make someone care about you. And you also have to show that you care about that person. And it has to be engaging. If you don't care about them, they're gonna know.
And why bother?
And it's sort of like what is the point of connecting with someone, even if at some level you care about them, that you otherwise, why even do this?
And why bother? Yeah.
And that was the conversation that we had earlier about friendship. If you don't genuinely bring the person to another level, or you're challenging them, or you're making them grow and stuff like that, there's no point of it. There's no point of telling a story. There's no point of having a podcast. There's no point in sharing anything if you aren't bringing some kind of value to somebody, right? Even if it's just humor. If somebody's having a bad day, bringing a joke to lighten the mood. Or Jessica's infectious laughter. And she side eye. She has this laugh that will echo into eternity because it's infection. It's also loud.
It offends a lot of people. I love it a lot.
So, what kind of stories are you telling? And the question is, do you know how to master your storytelling? What are you, especially women who are transitioning in our 40s, can you command a conversation telling people about what it is that you want to do? The things that you care about, the people that you care about, we're not basket weaving anymore, right? Some of us are milking cows because we're going back to homesteading. Some of us are baking bread because we're going back to what's traditional.
Amen.
Right? Some of us are removing ourselves from the rigors of the 9-to-5 corporate environment because we want to go back to some of the things that were a little bit more simple. We have lost our way, some of us, like cooking.
What I'm saying is, listen, 40 today is not what it was before. I keep using the same two examples. Samuel L. Jackson? Was it Samuel L. Jackson?
I don't know.
Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman's career kicked off at 40. Janet Jackson had her first child at 51.
And also another person's career, Martha Stewart, didn't start her career. I mean, she was doing stuff in the background, but she really didn't start her career until she was 50 years old.
50 years old.
Now she's in her 70s, approaching 80.
And she
is a millionaire.
And she took it up a notch when she paired up
with Snoop Dogg.
That's what
that's recreating yourself.
If that is not a transition story, because let's be honest, Martha Stewart was not somebody I would want to watch on my. I
didn't start watching her until she paired up with Snoop Dogg and she started smoking.
That was medicine. That was medicine. Like, you didn't even need to drink. You did not need the beverage. You did not need to be smoking along with. You did not even need to be in the audience to get high off the contact. Just
Because the two of them together,
and it was sad because I didn't have her show on regular cable, so I had to like watch their stuff like on snippets, you know. And so
this was the reels before the reels.
This was the reels before the reels, yeah. And so I think she's a great example of a person transitioning. Of a person
who recreated herself. And she rebranded herself. Just very, very much like, we can talk about things like rebranding, like the Stanley Cups. They didn't really change their brand.
Nothing. They just
marketed it differently. And so what is it? What can we do to market ourselves differently? Now, that's another conversation, but it's just interesting to embrace the change in your life.
What a conversation.
To embrace the change from
Andrew Tate
to Martha Stewart.
I'm good.